What up, y'all? I know not everyone feels like listening to a 40+ minute poll plans video for the month, so I broke it up to abbreviate my thoughts in a more easily digestible way. I know half of y'all, though, ain't subscribed, so go ahead and do that. Like the video, leave a comment with what you think about the upcoming content and your plans as well. And if you want to see the whole video, I'll be providing a link to that as well. Check that out for sure. Thanks a million, and now let's get into what you're really here for, alright? To close out the month, we have the incredibly hype best girl. Yes, don't fight me or else you're getting banned. Tifa. Tifa is getting hyped, and she deserves it because she's got insane bonkers damage. But let's go over what she got right quick. Skill 1, Beat Rush Plush, which you're only going to see in practice. You're not going to see the regular version unless something goes horribly wrong. But she does a Brave gain into 6 HP attacks with 2 Brave hits in between, and she refunds based on HP damage in between all of them. This is where it gets very silly. I don't know why they allowed her to do this early. And because it's got the refund in between, if she has a lot of battery beforehand and she's refunding in between, she's going to chain a lot of damage together, and she can easily do like 500k minimum, maybe 700k at max. Even sillier depending on your modifiers, right? Skill 2 is a gigantic Brave gain, and then she does an HP attack afterwards, and not just one. She does 3 HP attacks with Brave hits in between, and she also refunds in the middle of these too. It's just crazy. Additionally, her turns don't move. It's a free turn, so you can just do this back to back to back to back to back. All the attack, and I think we're starting to see a trend here. She does a Brave gain, and then she does a 3-hit Brave plus HP, and she does it 6 more times, and she refunds in the middle again. This attack is nuts. It does so much, and the gains are so high. She's pumping out 700k easy. She gets a new buff, and her LD already gives her massive attack and M Brave up, but now this new buff also gives her attack up, her own overflows up, HP damage up by 20% too, and M Brave up slightly. So she's got crazy stuff, man. After LD use, she gets a special HP attack, which you should use immediately after, and it'll turn her skill 1 to the plus version after you use it, and you get a free skill afterwards. So ideally, you want to go LD into HP plus into skill 2 to take advantage of that battery and the free skill afterwards. And then you want your battery, because skill 2 doesn't really dump that much Brave, then you want to skill 1 right afterwards to maximize her damage. And at this point, the boss is probably already half dead. I don't think I need to say much more to explain the fact that Tifa is utterly busted, but she wants to be at M Brave almost all the time, so she loves batteries because she has those multiple HP attacks with refund. So starting at high Brave is very good for her. Her EX is now her worst skill, and you want to prolong the use of this until you really need a delay, or you really need to launch, or you need to refresh that buff. Otherwise, your present skills, she's not going to run out. She is nuts. I don't know what they were thinking. Her calls also do a lot of damage. Her skill 1 is her base call, and it just does damage, and her skill 2, it has a nice effect of attack, HP damage up, and overflows up. So that's also solid to use, and especially in co-op. Her call, if you're not bringing Tifa's call to co-op, what are you doing? Because this thing does, again, like 700k. It makes co-op go by so much faster. So obviously in Tifa's co-op, bring Tifa, but afterwards in every co-op, please bring Tifa's call. That is the one call worth using right now. Please stop bringing Jack's call, you goofballs. Tifa speaks for herself. If you're gonna use her, you want to blue her armor because she has high Brave cap up. So the higher her Brave cap's up, the higher her theoretical damage will be in between her multiple HP attacks, because she's got so many. So if you raise that cap higher, she's gonna reach even higher depth. So yeah, this might be some people's first blue, and it is a good choice, for real. I mean, it's already obvious what I think about Tifa, but let me go into why this banner is amazing. It's got Bart's Burst on it, and we know Bart's Burst is good, and we know he's got an amazing future as well. So if you haven't gotten Bart's Burst by this point, if you have the resources, I would recommend going all the way to Burst Pity on this banner, because that's what I'm going to be doing personally if I ain't got it already. I'm getting Tifa's LD by any means, and I'm getting Bart's on the way there too, because that's a crazy combo. This is easily one of the best banners in this game's history, because both these characters are great and have great futures. Tifa does rerun down the line right after Guy's Lost Chapter with Aphmau, who gets an LD, who's in the middle, and Sid Reigns is right afterwards. But I'm not going to say Tifa's bad at that point, but this is definitely peak Tifa uses, where she will steamroll through everything. This is the time to get Tifa. I don't know why you'd skip for later. That is goofy. Unless you're broke, obviously, but you know what I mean. As for the actual boss rush, this one is interesting. It's pretty, it's actually pretty sus without Tifa, to be honest, but let me keep going into it. First wave is immune to all debuffs. So if you were thinking about using Golbez here, you can't use Dark Imperial, so womp womp, that's another L. But any debuffs are just an L here. So debuffers, wait for another wave. But this is the wave that they're selling Tifa on, right? The orb is critical brave damage. So in JP, I didn't let this guy get a turn, right? Oh, and it's it's Thunder Absorb. So sorry, Lightning, you hold the L here, and you can't get enchanted around it either. Womp womp. The only room for one best girl. Anyways, when this guy gets turns, he can get like an HP shield or something. He frames turns, he debuffs you. It actually gets pretty crazy. So it's in your best interest if you got like Tifa and Garland to use him here and not let him get a turn, right? If he does get turns, you need to burn him down fast, or else it could get real dicey real quick. So an ideal team would be like Tifa, and Tifa's good with Garland because she can launch and then Garland can delay in midair. Maybe throw in an Ami Call if you got it, or Paladin Cecil. Tifa, Garland, Paladin Cecil was my team in JP. With Tifa for the synergy stats, and I didn't have Garland's burst, so I used Paladin Cecil's burst to amp everyone's damage. But that'll probably be a good team for me here too in GL, just because I got Garland's burst this time around, so I plan on using that and letting Tifa go nuts. And you can, but the first wave with and without Tifa is actually night and day because this guy is hilariously tanky. So watch out for that. The TCC challenge will probably be literally just don't use Tifa on the first wave. The lightning button's gone too, which is truly tragic. Wave 2 is the Jack boss. Again, we just saw this in the Abyss, but it's not the same version, not the same orb. It's just a brave damage orb. This guy does get a brave shield, so you gotta watch out for that. And it does the whole concentrating thing. If you don't take enough action before they're done concentrating, you get blown up, which is not good. It's not guaranteed death, but you do get blown up, and getting blown up is not very good. So stall their turns, break their shield, and you should be fine. Otherwise, this wave feels kind of fillery. This feels like kind of the wave. Wave 3 is Soul Cage, and the orb is to deal magic damage. It's naturally weak to Ice and Holy, and resistant to Thunder and Dark. Sorry again, Golbez. I don't know why they did this. At some points, it'll turn itself on fire, and you can put it out with ice damage, similar to the game. I think if you use fire on them, they light on fire too, which is always funny. But yeah, don't get hit by them when they are on fire because it's a lot worse. At some point, when they get really low HP, they get a lot of brave, and you gotta break them, or else you do ones, which is not fun. I think the idea was, I think this whole wave was the Palamon Edward wave. You drop Edward's debuffs to prevent their brave gains, and use sleep or whatever to stop the big one, and then you use Palom to blow them up. That was the idea, but this wave is actually pretty flexible. Kuja's good here, obviously, because the holy weakness, and then you could do like Edward. Who did I run in JP? I think I did Kadaj to insta-break them / prevent their brave gains, Edward and Kuja, and I think I almost got myself killed because you need consistent magic damage, so it's +2 on the orb, so if you're not doing magic damage, you lose out. Magic burst characters are going to be definitely good here to gain some good time on the orb. Along with that, you need someone to break that red aura, yeah, but otherwise you should be fine. I think at certain points they cleanse too, so be aware of that. And the last wave is Imperil Immune. So sorry again, Golbez, why are they doing you like this, bruh? You almost get to go again. And the orb is to do wind damage, so it's pretty much a copy-paste of the Bart's orb, except it's the Kais boss this time. And it's magic resist, so if you listen to me and didn't get Fujin and you're using Bart's alongside this, then you're not going to be able to do magic damage with any of your magic units, because you can't imperil them. It's honestly a very awkward jump to go from needing magic brave damage on the previous wave to not letting you imperil and shutting out magic on the next wave. So bravo, Square Enix, I suppose. But anyways, Bart's is who they're selling hardcore here. You do need wind damage here, so you can probably get by with just a Fujin and or Bart's call and be okay. But otherwise, you can have them in the party. You could just have a wind damage dealer like Sabin, Vaughn, Ferris, the Shintoto. The numbers are all over the place, although Shintoto can't imperil, so that might be a little tragic for her. But anyways, they still have the same mechanics as the Kais boss, where they do that union thing, and if you don't launch them, you get blown up, which is very random. But this wave, from what I remember, didn't have much HP. I think I ran Bart's, Trey, and Galuf, and I think I ate a lethal HP attack with Galuf, but lived because it's Galuf. I think they dispelled me too, actually. So I kind of derped through this wave, and it ended up being all right. So don't sweat this one too much, honestly. And like I said, we have calls to get around the immunity, so it's not that big of a deal. Overall, my teams are probably going to be first wave Tifa, definitely Garland. As for my third, I'd prefer not to be basic and use the exact same team I used in JP for the first wave, but Paladin Cecil's looking real appealing on that first wave right now, so I'm probably just going to do Tifa, Garland, Paladin Cecil again. I'm going to stretch that out as far as possible, and past that, I think on the second wave, I'm going to do Kuja, Edward for the party synergy, and Sarah for the triple magic brave damage wombo combo, and on the third wave, I'm going to do Bart, and who else? Probably Aranea again, and maybe Kais or someone else to fit the launch requirement. Not too pressed about the last wave though, because we could do that launching thing through calls. Yeah, pretty flexible. But overall, an alright boss rush, pretty synergy biased, but people notice that by now, so it is what it is. And that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed the clip and found it informative. I do try my best, generally. If you haven't already done so, please like the video, comment what you think and your plans, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more great content. The full video is linked, so check that out as well. Continue showing love. Good luck, everybody. Peace.